the Democrats are tools of empire. This is not the vision of the future of humanity that many of us people on the ground hold. And it can be very difficult to extract yourself from party politics and see both sides as, evils.
So what would you say to liberals right now who are basically, I'm sure you've seen this rhetoric and discourse on social media where you'll have a lot of liberals kind of putting the blame on Muslim Americans, other minorities who have decided not to vote Democrat. And they'll say stuff like, you know what? This is what you get for not giving Kamala your vote. This is what you got with Trump. You thought it was bad with Biden. It's only going to get worse from there. So thank you for giving us Trump. That kind of discourse.
It's Maya Angelou who says, when people show you who they are, believe them. There's a reason why it's been said that liberalism is the left wing of fascism, right? Because what they are saying there, their lack of solidarity, their lack of understanding that they are being used, their lack of realizing that liberal platitudes is always coupled with inaction, right? So that, yeah, they do a tour right now where they go, oh, oligarchy is bad, oligarchy is bad. Who are your donors? Who are your donors? It's all the big corporations. And you refuse to pass legislation that goes against those big corporations, but oligarchy is bad? Is oligarchy bad, or are you just afraid that you're going to lose, as you did during the past election, a number of voters, a number of young people who are, some would say being radicalized. I would say just acting rationally and understanding, oh, wait, the system is against us. We have to approach it differently. So one, I would say that those people are fascists. The ones who say you get what you deserve or what have you. I mean, that is, in the face of genocide, that's genocidaire behavior. No, Palestinians are not getting what they deserve in this moment, and Muslim Americans have never gotten what they deserve from this country, just like African Americans, just like women, just like indigenous people, just like all marginalized groups, and brown people that have migrated here because of the destabilizing forces that America has played in their own countries, while propagating itself through media as the home of democracy and freedom.
What's up, guys? Happy Saturday to everyone. Welcome to the Good Faith Show. I'm your host, Andre Morton. And the Good Faith Show is only exclusively on the ATP Network. You can catch the ATP Network on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Rumble, and now Kick as well. So we own almost every platform out there. I have some shameless plugs for you guys. Be sure to like the video. It's free. It don't cost you nothing. And also subscribe to the ATP Network channel on YouTube and Rumble as well. And follow us on Kick too and Twitch, whatever, man. Like, and I think you could give likes on there too. Whatever platform you're on, just like it. Like, it pushes us out. And also, we also got 5 followers on Kick, which is good for a little irrelevant channel like ours. So, yeah, man, check us out on any platform. And also, too, if you're watching this on Twitter, whether this on mine or TP's Twitter account, I'll highly recommend you guys to go to YouTube and watch it on there, because Twitter does not send out notifications. Like, yeah, if y'all on Twitter, y'all know Twitter is it's a glitchy mess. So that's, I highly recommend that as well. And also to um, follow the ATP Network official Twitter account at scrolling on the bottom of your screen. The handle right there is at ATP Network 247. And also to go to GazaFunds.com, help out the Palestinians any way you can. Um, I mean, y'all know what time it is, man. Like, one article I got is just fucking disgraceful, but I'm gonna get to it. But this guy, he that you just saw a few minutes ago, he was really speaking truth to power. Sometimes I usually like to go back through them and give my analysis on it, but Um, but I get in the moment when I get what we were saying, but I'm finna play the video again.
Tools of empire. This is not the vision of the future of.
Now he said that Democrats are the tool of the empire. Well, you can also insert Republicans there too, my guy. Um, like they both are tools of the empire. Like they're the reason why the empire is running the way it is. Like they let the corporate oligarchs get away with bloody murder and shit like that. But I get what he's saying. Like when I first saw that, I'm like, whoa, 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 hold on there, buddy. Like I didn't judge him. I didn't say he was a Republican. I don't think he is, but you keep watching. You watch it, y'all know what he was talking about. So yeah,
humanity that many of us people on the ground hold. And it can be very difficult to extract yourself from party politics and see both sides as, evils.
see, so he said it right there. Like, hey, both sides are fucked up, but that damn Democratic Party.
So what would you say to liberals right now who are basically, I'm sure you've seen this rhetoric and discourse on social media where you'll have a lot of liberals kind of putting the blame on Muslim Americans, other minorities who have decided not to vote Democrat. And they'll say stuff like, you know what? This is what you get for not giving Kamala your vote. This is what you get with Trump. You thought it was bad with Biden. It's only going to get worse from there. So thank.
Let me stop right there. See what cultists don't understand is that you like both sides. I'm talking about liberals and Republicans. Like they're both on a cult or MAGA and liberals. Like y'all both in a cult. And but especially to the liberals right here, what he was talking about. Like Kamala Harris said herself that she wanted to take down Iran too. So I'm not giving Trump any credit because this motherfucker almost pushed us to World War III. All it had to take was our Iran's allies to come and intervene. But fortunately, this ceasefire, which I'm about to get to in a second too about that. But I believe that if Kamala was president, we'd already be in World War III. I think we've been in World War III faster than we thought now we would have been. Like, um, you know, see, when it's World War III under Trump, liberals like, oh, this is a disgrace. So many people will get killed. Damn you, Trump. But when Kamala Harris or Joe Biden puts World War III, well, technically, Iran, they're the enemy. They building a nuclear weapon. So we got to stop that. Like, see the double standard with this cult. You know, even MAGA too. Credit some MAGA say I did not vote for this. Some of them on Twitter said that I did not vote for war. I didn't vote for escalation of war. But yeah, you did. But saying yeah, but I guess oh man, but yeah, it's a cult. Like yeah, Kamala Harris was genociding kids as well. I mean, she was the vice president, but she's a part of it. I mean, Trump is just doing the same thing she's doing. It's no better. Like, I mean, oh man, like yeah, it's wildly insane, bro. This is why people need to leave this duopoly, man. This is why I need to be preaching more. Like, leave this two-party system, bro. It's cancerous. It's toxic. Like I know, like Zoran Mandami, he got good plans, but I'm gonna talk about him in a minute too. But let me continue.
Thank you for giving us Trump. That kind of discourse.
It's Maya Angelou who says when people show you who they are, believe them. There's a reason why it's been said that liberalism is the left wing of fascism, right? Because what they are saying there, their lack of solidarity, their lack of understanding that they.
You remember when liberals shaved their head when Kamala lost to? Like, I'm telling you about a cult. They shaved their head. I forgot about that shit. Yeah, I remember all this shit, man. I covered this shit on this channel last year. Yeah, last year when she lost. Like I was making fun of them liberals. They for saying, yeah, you deserve what you get, Palestinians. You didn't vote for the slave queen. So you do like these people are fucking evil, man. And they want to talk about MAGA and right wingers. Like these people, you know, they'll wave a pride flag, but or say Black Lives Matter, but at the end of the day, liberals, man, let's just keep it 100. Like they don't want to associate with black folks either. Yeah, like as soon as you come to their neighborhood, or as soon as you infiltrate their space, then they yeah, if you know, you know. So yeah, man, let me continue.
Are being used. Their lack of realizing that liberal platitudes is always coupled with inaction.
Exactly, 100%. This man is spitting the truth. Yeah, Black Lives Matter. They hold the fist up, like I was saying a few seconds ago. Hold the fist up, or wave the pride flag, or But at the end of the day, like what that's gonna do for the trans and gay community? What's that gonna do for the black people? Are you gonna fight to stop funding the police, or you know what I mean? Like just like yeah, like what does that even mean? Like you know, fuck your unity. I want solidarity. So shout out to Nick for saying that. But let me continue.
Right? So that, yeah, they do a tour right now where they go, oh, oligarchy is bad. Oligarchy is bad. Who are your donors? Who are your donors?
Yep, and that's why I said too about that oligarchy tour. Some of the PMC leftists mostly giving Bernie and AOC credit for going around talking about also polluting the earth too, also polluting the planet too, because they flying jets, which releases more CO2 emissions. But hey, they supposed to be so pro environment, right? But anyway, just doing what the oligarchy doing. The oligarchs do that all the time, like. But yeah, like yeah, really, this is really nothing but a PR stunt. Really, the fight the oligarchy tour is just a PR stunt for AOC. For she could run for president. Like that's what they really doing. And also too, like if you're gonna call out the Republican oligarchy, call out your party oligarchy too, Bernie and AOC. See, I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna go far with that. They don't like see the double standard with these people.
It's all the big corporations, and you refuse to pass legislation.
And crazy thing is, all of the fucking oligarchy work with both parties. So you mean it really don't even matter. See what I'm saying? Like, delusion of choice. That's what it is. The delusion of choice. That's all it is. This two-party system is a delusion of choice. Like they want you to think. They want you to think that hey, it's two choices when it really is one choice. Because the corporations always wins, man. Like you know what I mean? Like, see, the only difference now is the same corporations that had pride, had pride, changed their profile picture, the rainbow flag over their logos and shit. Like, they ain't doing that no more now because they never really gave a crap about the LGBTQ community anyway. See what I'm saying? Like, so all this DI stuff was really really BS on their part.
That goes against those big corporations, but oligarchy is bad. Is oligarchy bad, or are you just afraid that you're going to lose, as you did during the past election, a number of voters, a number of young people who are, some would say being radicalized. I would say just acting rationally and understanding, oh, wait, the system is against us. We have to approach it differently.
That right there. Yeah, I was say this man was spitting facts. He was spitting. Exactly. Yeah, radicalizing, they have to eventually be radicalized. I think a lot of people are waking up. I think this election woke a lot of people up too, because you've seen what, like, yeah, like you've seen what Trump is doing now, right? Right, like, I mean, like, come on, man, like with the No Kings protests and the protests against Elon and all this stuff earlier this year, like. They said they were going to do all this stuff. Like, that's one thing that gets me. A lot of my leftist friends that was on Twitter, telling the truth about these protests got a whole lot of shit from that. Which, at the end of the day, they're gonna be vindicated because they do the same shit like liberals. Like when Trump was in office the first time, remember the massive woman march that was liberal ran and a few other big marches. Now the No Kings protests and the other, I forgot, the hands off protests. All these protests. That's crazy. While while the people that was protesting the genocide when Biden was president, um, where were they then? See what I'm saying? Like, this is why it's kind of hard to say that you'll work with liberals. I know Cal and Crystal said that the strategy is to get the leftists and liberals together. Yeah, I disagree with that because if a Democratic nominee wins in 2028, even I seen everybody seen this infamous picture that said if Kamala was president, we'll all be at brunch. I mean, they're gonna be back at brunch. I mean, so what's the point of that? Oh man. Anyway, like our approach is different from theirs. Anyway, like we want to get away from the two-party system. So
We have to approach it differently. So, one, I would say that those people are fascists. The ones who say you get what you deserve, or what have you. I mean that is in the face of genocide. That's genocidaire behavior. No, Palestinians are not getting what they deserve.
yeah, and they said we should work with these people. I don't work with people that say that Palestinians get what they deserve. I covered that last year. Like I said, I don't work with them people. Like, because then they have their way. Oh, they deserve to be unalived. Like how sick can you be? But hey, it's a cult.
In this moment, and Muslim Americans have never gotten what they deserve from this country. No, just like African Americans.
And the way Muslim Americans get treated too, especially after 9/11, man. I remember, I remember like the race. Wow, you talking about the racism toward black people at one time? Like holy shit, man. Like even my mama to this day, she kind of like have that kind of, Well, I put her on the spot too. Like I could tell, like when we used to talk, mama said like, I hope they don't hijack the planes and all that stuff. I'm like, mama, people ain't terrorists. What are you talking about? Like, yeah, man. Like, see what propaganda does, Um, so
Just like women, just like indigenous people, just like all marginalized groups, and brown people that have migrated here because of the destabilizing forces that America has played in their own countries, while propagating itself through media as the home of democracy and freedom.
yeah, man. He told a God honest truth, man. Shout out to that guy. I forgot his name. So yeah. Anyway, man. Oh, I don't know how any way to put this, but you know, it's this guy on Twitter. I think this was Thursday. Thursday, yeah, Thursday. Um, um, some of you may know that's watching this, especially on Twitter. The co-host of the ATP Network, TP, she's moving to Ohio. As as of this video, she's now on the road heading up to Ohio. Um, so yeah, she live streaming it. So you could go back to the ATP Network YouTube channel and watch it from the beginning. She probably just most of her just watching the road and stuff like that. So, but she might talk a little bit too. Um, but yeah, like like when if somebody puts something on social media, like make a post about something or do something, like why do people think they have to respond to everything? That's what really this is really why I don't really want to interact with people like that anymore online. Like, you know, you should have discourse. You should talk to one another. Like, but like people like this guy finna pull up in a second. Like, and I found a whole lot of dirt about this guy too, man. I'm gonna talk about it more on the the A&M podcast. But this is, it's not about him per se at the moment. This is about what he did. And, I used to make videos like this, and I said to myself, like, this don't make me look good because I shouldn't give a fuck what people think. Like, everybody does their own thing. Everybody responds to, I guess, the hate crew, the hateful assholes differently. Some people ignore them like I've been doing. Like, I haven't really made videos about people that shit on me and my friends since March. So, like, I've been doing good, man. Like, I decided, hey, this is wasting my time, wasting my resources. But this guy, I just couldn't help myself, man. His name is Bo Forte. I blocked him on Twitter because this man is a psychopath, bro. That's all I'm saying about that. Wow, man. But let me play this video and trigger warning. I use the MF word a lot. I hope YouTube don't open their eyes and see it. So here we go. I'm gonna pause in between, man. Excuse the way I talk. Sometimes when I'm angry, my voice get very like I got cotton in my mouth or some shit. But here we go. And also it's captions in the video as well.
Is an op. You got op written all over it. Oh, this motherfucker, man. This motherfucker is an op. You got op written all over this cracker.
And the one most disrespectful thing about that picture is he taking a picture with a woman that's actually wants real change. Like that really, Medea, she didn't know. It ain't her fault that she took a picture with a a potential operative. You got a lot of time you gotta be careful because, you know, but yeah, I call him a cracker. Yeah. Yeah, I tell you I'm mad, man.
And he took a picture with Medea Benjamin. Only Medea Benjamin knew who this guy is. Now, he said his platform is pro-universal healthcare, expansion of Congress, anti-genocide, anti-corruption. But
Now, I thought this guy was running as a Democratic candidate, but it turns out that this guy was part of the Green Party. Oh man, I don't think I said he was a Democrat. I thought he was, but this is why it's good to do research before you, man, go and make videos like I did. Now should I have done this video? No, I should have just blocked this motherfucker and went on. But a lot of people, a lot of notable people like what I did, so I'm glad I did it. But I promise myself this is gonna be the last time I make a video doing this, you know. But let me continue.
you talking about corruption, but you shitting on people that just asking for mutual aid to help them to move to Ohio. I think you're just a sad sack of shit too. And look, this man went out to my boy Nick Cruz. Lord have mercy.
Yeah, apparently this Buforte guy, I guess his job as an operative is to attack organizations, small grassroots organizations. Like, yeah, he called out Savvy in this video, on that tweet you see on the screen. He called out Nick. I think did he call out Rome too? I don't think he called out Rome. Yeah, he did. He did. No, it was somebody else that called out Rome actually, not him. I had to get my facts straight. Yeah, there's a lot of ops, man. Gotta be careful. Tell him.
Like, these people got too much motherfucking time on their hands. But he said this is who Nick is, a racist grifter who isn't for his own wallet only. Like, why this man always pocket watching people? Wow, people get monetization from YouTube. Wow, bro, it's not that much money. Okay, always pocket watching motherfuckers. Like, dude, get a life, bro. Step outside, man. Step outside. I guess after you
Yeah. Yeah, like people love calling people grifters, man. Like I mean, like this is why people don't ask for mutual aid online because they'll be labeled as a grifter. So whether you crowdfunding for something or you need to eat, how people do mutual aid requests. That movement went on Twitter for a little while, especially during COVID. Like, but if you ask for $50 or something like that, which is no money these days, you're a grifter. Or you on YouTube and you get monetization. Like, I believe that anybody that does this on a daily basis should get paid because this is labor. And you know good and damn well YouTube put ads in your video, so you should, you know, get paid for your work. Oh God, man. These motherfuckers love pocket watching, I tell you.
Failed with your congressional run, I guess you. He said when I asked him why he responds to tyrants, bullies, and liars, this is the response he gave. He gave to me right before blocking me. Nick said nobody cares about you, white boy, and that's so true. These people, man, I tell you. Oh Lord, have mercy, man. But I ain't even done yet. This loser got more shit. This man said when I called this person out, she took a shot, called me white man, then the blocked me. Then the blocked me.
No, I just realized that both Nick and Liz call this man, this dude a white man. Wow, he get offended when somebody call him his color is. Well, this guy's a snowflake, man. Holy shit.
So I couldn't reply. She is a grifter and
Yeah, he said. Yeah, he said, and the blocked me. That's what I was saying. Blocked me? Oh God, this dude is stupid.
she is mad at me because I said that donating to kids with cancer is better than giving her money to Ohio. How
Oh God. My thing is, if you think that, why you had to tweet it to her? Why? What's the point of that? Like, she's trying to, like, she's doing a life changing decision. Like, see, he don't, even if you told him why she's doing what she's doing, he wouldn't even give a shit because he's a heartless piece of trash. That's what this guy is. You know, like this guy, he just, oh boy, trying to not say anything to get us to kick off YouTube. I'm telling you, man, like, call her a grifter for asking for some money. And one thing too, um, when she does ask for mutual aid, she don't force people to do it. She just said, if you can, give me something. Then she don't even say what amount. Like, it's some people that be on YouTube, streamers, Twitch and stuff like that. Like, you can tell now they're grifters. The ones that say, "Oh, give me some money, give me $50, give me," like, people do that. And those people do make it bad for any other people that's trying to make it. Like, but see, he going out at the people that's not doing that. That's what I'm saying. Like, I gotta clarify what I'm saying here. Like, if it'd be one thing if people just constantly berating you to donate to them, but if they just saying, if you then a lot of people say share the tweet or whatever, share the post. Like, how is she a grifter? Like, and then one thing I don't get about people is, she worked at a grocery store for 11 years. Um, you know, so really, she didn't really start being on Twitter until 2021, and she never asked for money like that. A few times maybe she needs a few money for groceries. Like people don't understand. Prior now, she had to pay rent by herself. She didn't have a roommate. It was a 1 bedroom apartment. Good luck having a roommate in 1 bedroom apartment. The apartment was expensive, like, and then she got paid what, $17 an hour. So but she asked for a few dollars. She's a grifter. See, this is the problem I have with these motherfuckers. Like, they'll rather go after people that is trying to make it. Like, this system led a lot of people to no choice, to crowdfund, to ask, for a few dollars to their cash app or whatnot, to for something. Like, if this system worked for everybody, we wouldn't even have a crowdfunding source, or donate to my cash app. You know what I mean? So this guy's sick. So let me continue, man. I just had to say that.
crazy of me. I ain't going to continue what the fuck he said. This man is a op, bro. He can't spell like he must be dumb or something. So Liz is supposed to just stay in Florida in misery and sorrow. Oh no, she don't need a chance to change her life. She don't need to be with her family. She just need to stay in Florida and just drown sorrow and fear while you proclaim, she's a grifter. Like, bro, like Liz don't even ask for mutual aid much at all. You raw dogging trying to survive. Then this asshole, nothing else to do. He said, "You a shameless thief." He man can't even spell thief right. Jesus Christ! Why did I even respond?
How she's a thief? How she's a thief? Basically saying she a scam artist. Like people say I'm a scam artist too. So how I'm a scam artist and I'm promoting other people's mutual aid or spot fund or GoFundMe's or whatnot. Like how I'm a scam artist. Like some other fool with an avatar with a pyramid in his avatar call me a scam artist. I just don't understand. Like, this is why, as for me, like to keep from getting kicked off of social media, I have to like just ignore the notification. Because when you have a platform, man, these people is going to attack you. Like,
To him, get a job. Oh man, like
bro, like, see, this is no, like, okay. See, this get a job shit, you know. See, this is a problem with American society too, as well. Like, you know, like especially our older generation, the boomer generation, they always tell us, oh y'all lazy, get a job. He sound like a fucking 75-year-old boomer or some shit, man. Like, bro, get a job. Like, you just can't get a job and live comfortably. Most likely, you have to work another job or a ride share. Especially if you get paid, you ain't getting paid enough to buy a 2-bedroom apartment. Oh my God! Like in Louisiana, the buy a 2-bedroom apartment is like $21 an hour. Not many people in Louisiana making $21 an hour. So most likely they have to live with roommates or live with their parents. See, I just hate people like this, man. Oh boy.
you need to get a job, sucker. Like, get a job instead of being on Twitter fucking with people. Like, you fuck with Nick, now Liz. This is why I ignore the notifications on Twitter. Like, this is why I don't respond to replies. I'm pretty sure he probably, knowing this piece of shit, he probably said something else to me. Then this man went out the bush. He said, "Don't kid yourself. This is not a movement. It's a grift." He's talking about the Green Party. Never listen to a guy who refuses to be in a dispute resolution, but instead chooses to run to the same court that abused women to go beg for protection while yelling, "Fuck the police," to his followers. Oh, God. Yeah, this guy is an op, bro. Yeah. According to a comrade that has sources, he does this all the time. Like, he shits on the Green Party, man. He know that people are going to respond to.
And before I made this video not knowing he was part of the Green Party, but apparently he got kicked out of the Green Party for things I can't say. I can say some things, but I want to keep it for the next video. But let me continue.
What he says. This is people like this. They know what they doing. This is a playbook. Or a random person that's minding their own business. That's just trying to live their life. Yeah, let's fuck with them. This is why he didn't even win Congress. I bet this man is hated by his family. I bet this man is hated by his community of New Jersey.
I said New Jersey. Man, I just try to find things to say this. Before I said this man hated. Oh God. Yeah, I think a lot of people hate operatives.
Fifth congressional district, like this man, he got a punchable face. I wish I could really go in on him, but the way Twitter is like they protect pieces of shit like this. But if I call him out his name and stuff and then they're gonna suspend my account. And Twitter already hates my guts as it is, so I shouldn't even have to reply to this shit. Like, I'm not gonna even tag him in this because it's gonna create more and more chaos, and I just want peace. I got a network, trying to push that out as much as I can, man. I ain't got time for this shit, bro. I just want Liz to move to Ohio, be happy, and I want to do what I gotta do. Hopefully, try to find happiness in the future. Like, I don't. Let's hope this is the last time I'll talk about losers like this, because I've been making videos calling out these fucking psychopaths on Twitter for the longest time, man. I'm fucking sick of it. Sick of it.
So yeah, man. Yeah, I hope this is the last time I ever make a video like this again. Like, she didn't even have to do this shit. You know, I know a lot of people said, it's good you call this guy out for fucking with people, but I just ain't me, man. I know a lot of people probably like that, but I just want to just be on Twitter. I just want to, just tweet the truth and do what I can and promote this network. That's all I wanted to do. So, yeah, man, I can't believe I almost spent 40 minutes on those two videos, but yeah, man, I just had a lot to say, man. Like, you know, to that Boo Forte motherfucker, fuck you, dude. That's all I gotta say about that. Fuck you. I'm glad I blocked your ass. Oh boy. So anyway, what we got to talk about today? We got an article, really just telling the truth about what the IDF is doing to these Palestinians in the humanitarian zones. And African Stream is banned, got really canceled, and then Candace Owens, she faced criticism for what she said on Piers Morgan a few days ago. So if you just not got here, man, I'm pretty sure you know, you late, so I recommend you rewind from the beginning, and but while you doing that, like the video, it's free, it don't cost you nothing. It helps out with the algorithm and all that stuff. So yeah, all right, guys. Without further ado, let's get to it. Man, this is some fucking disgusting shit right here, man. You know what, man? Anybody at this point that said Israel has the right to defend itself, it's thousands of examples of this. I guess, at this point, because we almost 2 years into this Holocaust, I can't even call it a genocide anymore because, you heard about the Holocaust growing up, what happened in Nazi Germany, and stuff like that. Like, you say, no, that will never happen again. That was a part of history where, you learn from your mistakes, but nah, man. Like, history always seems to repeat itself. Anyway, this is from I think this Israel site, this pro-Israel site, um, um, Hartst. I can't even talk today. It says it's a killing field. IDF soldiers ordered to shoot deliberately at unarmed Gazans waiting for humanitarian aid. Also, so you shooting at Palestinians that's desperate for food because you are told to. Oh boy, I don't know how I'm gonna get to this article. Let me see. Um, it's a paywall. Hold on, guys. It's a fucking paywall. So yeah, y'all. Anyway, back to this. This bullshit. It says IDF officers and soldiers told Hearts that they were ordered to fire at unarmed crowds near food distribution sites in Gaza, even when no threat was present. Oh God. Hundreds of Palestinians have been unalived, prompting the military prosecution to call for a review into possible war crimes. Um, it says Netanyahu cats reject claims, call them blood libels. Of course they will reject it because they ordered the IDF to do it. I'm not going to read all this because this disgusts me, man. It says Israeli soldiers in Gaza told um, Haaretz, that the army was deliberately fired at has deliberately fired at Palestinians near distribution sites over the past month. Conversations with officers and soldiers revealed that commanders ordered troops to shoot at crowds and drive them away or disperse at them. Even it was clear that he posed no threat. So hold on, wait a second. So you knew it's so you're a soldier. You knew it was wrong to shoot at people that pose no threat to you whatsoever. But now you coming out saying that now you saying the truth that is no threat. Like you like that article on CNN that came out a while ago, like these people saying they got PTSD for running people over with bulldozers and stuff. I'm like, but you did it. Like you should have been a traitor. Like to be honest with you, if they asked me to do something like that, they had to send me to prison, man. They had to send me to prison. Like I'm not harming any innocent people for for colonization. No, man, I'm not doing it. Um, or for ethnic cleansing, as they say. Um, One soldier described the situation as a total breakdown of the IDF ethical codes in Gaza. According to the Hamas-run health ministry, you gotta love the Hamas-run health ministry. This is an Israel site, by the way. Now, this is an Israel site admitting, like, this is crazy to me though. I forgot to mention this. Now, this is a Israel site admitting that, hey, we shot Palestinians for no reason. Hey, but yeah, I think I'm gonna end it here because this shit's making me angry. It says 549 people have been killed near aid centers in areas where residents were waiting for UN food trucks since May 27th. Over 4,000 have been wounded, but the exact number of those killed by the IDF fire remains unclear. Oh my God! So yeah, man, I'm done reading this bullshit. Um, fuck these people that came out and admitted it what they've been doing. We knew it was wrong, but we did it anyway. To probably avoid prosecution. But like I said, man, you have to prosecute me, man. I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not going down as no war. I'm not going down as no war criminal. All the IDF, that did this, like them along with, you know, um, Katz and Netanyahu and Trump, all these motherfuckers, Biden too, all these motherfuckers need to be in the Hague, man. I'm just telling you the truth. So yeah, I just had to show y'all that, man, because that's crazy as shit. All right, guys, on to the next story. All right, guys. So the next story I got for you is from the Black Agenda Report, and shout out to Margaret Kimberly for writing this piece. It says war propaganda, state-controlled media, and the end of African Stream. So if you don't know, African Stream um, don't exist anymore um, because of claims of them being Russia propaganda, which is just fucking insane. Like they love labeling people as Russian assets, and or China assets too. Like, it's just so wild. Like they did the Uhuru 3, who eventually got off. Oh boy, which the Uhuru 3 is just doing mutual aid, helping out their community. But yeah, man, they don't want you to help out the community. Like, why you think they got black folks and immigrants spend against each other? Like, the system knows what they're doing. They know what they're doing. But anyway, let me get to this article. It says every accusation is a confession when war propaganda is being spread by the state in its millions in corporate media. The adage is especially true when corporate media in the West is used the term state controlled when they want to make the case for wars of aggression and to discredit those nations of they label themselves adversaries. If anyone is controlled by the state, it is the networks and major newspapers that can be counted on to march in lockstep and repeat every narrative that they use to justify U.S. actions around the world. There is no stronger state-controlled media other than the United States and the collective West. And it says the international destruction of African Stream platform is the latest example. On September 13, 2024, Secretary of State Anthony Blinken ended the ability of African Stream in a German-based website Red to create content and raise money, making the continuation of their operations possible. So this shit started under the Biden administration. Wow. No surprise, No surprise here. Blinken claimed that both outlets was, like I said, spreading Russia government propaganda. Oh my God. Oh my God. And African Stream was immediately removed from YouTube. Yeah, I remember that. The platform with the widest reach for anyone creating digital media. That's the unforeseeable truth. But yeah, African Stream was also removed from TikTok and Meta platforms, Facebook and Instagram, which are also vital imports to media work. So yeah, man, TikTok, man, I'm shocked TikTok removed them from the site. But TikTok ever since Trump reinstated it temporarily, still, yeah, it's been different. The algorithm's been different. Um, I'm not surprised. Um, let me see. Um, Google, YouTube's parent company, even closed African Stream email accounts. Uh, the X platform. allow African Stream to post its stories, but demonetize the site. The accusation of being Russian agents impact their ability to raise money. And African Stream, which once had 2 million followers across various platforms, will cease operations on July 1st, 2025. Not only did big tech platforms hinder African Stream's ability to continue its operations, but they proved once again that to be partners with the United States government and rarely followed their orders. And this too is the reason why that all of those platforms that were mentioned in this, Meta and Facebook and Twitter and TikTok and Google and YouTube, like all these platforms need to be treated like a public utility, man. I mean, not public square. You know what I mean? Like, see, yeah, like to be honest with you, all of these platforms are really like they really. That's why you think that YouTube, the algorithm don't favor voices like mine and other people because they don't want our voices getting out to tell you the truth. See, they want you to watch a CNN video or Fox News video or News Nation video or something. They don't want you to watch us. So, or they don't want you to watch African Stream. Like, and the reason why, I bet the reason why they took them off is bullshit. Yeah, because they're Russian propaganda. Oh God, that shit getting old, man. Like nobody believes that shit no more. Like, um, you know. So really, if they say that African Stream and the Who 3 are Russian assets, then isn't the United States government or the news media that's in cahoots with the government, ain't they Israel propaganda? Like Fox News, for example, like they make it seem like Israel was winning that conflict when Iran was kicking their ass. Like, oh my God, bro. Like, yeah, this yeah. If you know, you know. It is significant that while a site presenting, excuse me, excellent journalism will be closing its doors, corporate state-controlled media continue churning out talking points that come straight from the State Department and the White House. A dynamic that is especially useful whenever this country wants to make the case for war. The U.S. is at war with Iran, and Israel attacks on that country, which began on June 12, 2025, were followed by stories easily proven to be false, especially the claim that Iran has or will soon have a nuclear weapon, which Iran does not have a nuclear weapon. Like that's the case was made about for Israel to do. Like, oh, we got to stop Iran making nuclear weapons. Which, oh God, um, for years the media scribes have claimed that Iran have been days away from nuclear capability, which was debunked by the U.S. Intel, which said that they didn't destroy their nuclear sites, and really a few months they could start like making one in a few months. So yeah, the inconvenient truth that Iran does not have nuclear weapons as well known, and was repeated sworn testimony by Tulsi Gabbard, Trump's director of national intelligence. But Gabbard herself proved to be inconvenient, and she was publicly dismissed by her boss not once but twice. On March 25th, 2025, she took part in what was called the annual threat assessment delivered by the intelligence community. The IC continued to insist that Iran is not building a nuclear weapon. Its supreme leader, uh, Khamenei, has not authorized the nuclear weapon program that he suspended in 2003. Yep, that came out right out of Tulsi Gabbard's mouth. Um, I'm gonna read this, then I'm gonna move on to the next story. Trump quickly shoved Gabbard under the bus, and she was excluded from intelligence briefings before the Israeli strikes. He bluntly said, "I don't care what she said. I think they were very close to having one." He wasn't finished humiliating that one-time Democrat and supposed peace candidate in the 2020 election. He added, "For good measure, she's wrong." Instead of maintaining self-respect and resigning from the job, Gabbard chose to stay and defend her boss by walking back her comments. Yeah, of course. The dishonest media is intentionally making my testimony out of context and spreading fake news as a way to manufacture division. Um, Not only was the public rebuke giving insufficient attention, but they claimed that Iran was treated as fact. Unsourced stories of Iranian sleeper cells perforated on the networks and newspapers without question of skepticism. Every alleged part appearing on the news predictably went wrong, giving credence to an obvious disinformation campaign. Then it said, what better way to get buy-in for war than to make the public afraid of Iranian hegemony? So yeah, man. Basically, what Mark Kimberly is saying is that yeah, you call Africa Stream Russia propaganda, but you're basically spreading Israel propaganda by saying Iran has nukes almost ready to be developed. And Tulsi Gabbard said back in March, which wasn't that long ago, that Iran was not making a nuclear weapon. And even that crazy, like, Iran, like, shout out to Nick Cruz. He said it's true. Like, Iran had hell of restraint because even when uh, Trump left the Iran nuclear deal. I mean, when Trump, yeah, left the Iran nuclear deal, like, Iran could have been building nukes then. And as I would say again, like, I think Iran need to build some nukes, man. Like, because who knows what Israel and the United States got up their sleeve, man. I don't trust Trump, and I don't trust Netanyahu. Like, this ceasefire come all of a sudden because Israel got their ass kicked. That's what it was. So yeah, man. But speaking of that, I might as well pull up this article by Mundo Weiss. So, let me share my screen right quick. Um, um, so, so yeah. By the way, I'm not sponsored by. I'm not, you know, I'm not. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm not affiliated with Mundo Weiss, but y'all go support Mundo Weiss, man. Like, they do great journalism, you know, um, and stuff like that. Donate to them, because we need more Mundo Weisses in the world. We need more Black Agenda reports in the world. Like, good reads, man. Like, because fuck the New York Times and Washington Post. They always want a paywall. So okay, as I said, um, this shout out to Mona Weiss for this article. It says, what comes next following the U.S.-Israeli war on Iran? Um, so let me see. It says the fight between Israel and Iran, sparked by an illegal and entirely unprovoked attack by Israel, has abated for the moment. Yeah, because Israel got their ass kicked after the United States did what Israeli Prime Minister hoped it would do and bomb Israel underground nuclear facilities. It turns out that the bunker bombs even hit Fordo, um, including the one at Fordo with bunker buster weapons. U.S. President Donald Trump told Israel to stop its attacks and reinforce that order when Israel sent dozens of bombers towards Iran shortly after the ceasefire has enacted, claiming a response to two Iranian missiles, which was not fucking true at all. Yeah. Oh man, like Iran, like I said before, Trump should know that Israel don't Israel don't want no ceasefire. But again, let me continue. The entire battle fought for a basis of a fictional threat of Iran being close to acquiring a nuclear weapon, demonstrated how Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu can manipulate intelligence, politics, and ignorance in the U.S. to provoke American action. Of course, like, you know, um, like how we knew that, Israel intentionally, like, we knew the Iron Dome wasn't shit. Like, the Iron Dome is just another waste of taxpayer dollars. Like, as Nico House said, a paper dome, because that's what it really is. Just keep it 100. Um, like, I think Israel did that just to get the U.S. involved. So, um, but it also demonstrated that the United States cannot be forced to act when it is unwilling to do so, and more importantly, that when it decides to stand firm, the United States absolutely does have the power to rein Israel in. But the 12 days of bombing and missile exchange between Iran and Israel, as well as the American intervention, left in the situation quite different from before the escalation started. What can we set aside Donald Trump, Benjamin Netanyahu, and Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's claims of victory when the political necessaries are there? But do we need to see what change and what might mean going forward? It says, uh, no one knows better than Israeli officials with a sheer fear-mongering scam of the entire Iran nuclear issue is they quite know well that any Iranian consideration or uh, pre 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 preparation for a nuclear weapon occurred more than 2 decades ago. It was little more than a preliminary steps while the issue was being debated at the highest level of the Iranian government. They know as well that the only way to ensure that Iran and any other country doesn't develop a nuclear weapon is through diplomatic agreement, like the Iran nuclear deal or the IFA. Um, if this is their concern, they would have backed the 2015 Iran nuclear deal, as a good many Israeli military intelligence officials did. The politicians, of course, did not. The purpose of this sham is and has always been to create a regime change blocking Washington and Brussels with a goal of an attack on Iran that will force the Islamic Republic for power. Of course, the typical playbook: regime change, weaken Iran like they did Iraq. Just basically, they want to do Iran what they did to Iraq. Basically, weaken them, you know, try to overthrow the government. The same old playbook, like what they do all over the world. Like the United States do this shit everywhere. Oh, it's crazy. And you see why we are hated around the world. You see why. But let me read a little bit of this. Let me see. Let me read what ran right quick. It says this Islamic Republic also emerges battered and bruised, but it has a few positives to point to. Prior to the American attack on Iran nuclear site, Iran was girding up for a long encounter with Israel, but it was a difficult path that lay ahead. Israel was starting to run low on interceptor rockets for its various defense systems, and it was showing. Hits on Israeli targets by Iranian strikes was becoming more frequent and more impactful, despite the fact that Iran was firing fewer missiles. That's crazy. So Iran did more damage with few missiles than Israel did towards Iran with, well, not more missiles, they were running out, but I think, so Israel threw more missiles at Iran, and Iran did more damage. Less. Less is more, huh? Um, this was an advantage for Iran, but it was often overstated. The United States had several options to at least partially restock Israeli rockets. The most likely one being to use some of US's own stockpile. Um, Let me say, but even if Iran enjoyed a temporary advantage to be able to overwhelm Israel's air defenses, but Iran doesn't have a benefactor like the United States to come to its rescue when those supplies run out. Um, Let me see, but it says here, but that gave rise, at least in Washington, to concern that Iran would at least point to destabilizing the Gulf states with attacks from its own militia partners, which had to that point not to act in Iran's defense. Combined with the closing of the Strait of Hormuz, which Iran was threatening to do before the ceasefire, this amounted to the threat of regional war that frightened the United States and Europe. So I'm gonna stop right there. I'm not gonna bore y'all with all this, analysis and stuff like that. So yeah, basically the final point on that is that, yeah, like if Iran closed the Strait of Hormuz, Israel was running out of missiles. I'm pretty sure Trump rushed for the ceasefire, all of a sudden, So yeah, because you close the Strait of Hormuz, like that's the economy right there, man. Like, ships go through there, shoot ships out that go through there. That definitely crippled the U.S. economy. So yeah, man. That's all I gotta say about that. Let me get to the next story. All right, guys. So I'm gonna talk about this. Candace Owens, man, she faced some backlash for some of her comments about the Iran-Israel conflict, and I thought it was interesting. And also, too, shout out to Savvy Sabs for talking about this first, because this is what I got this from. So, without further ado, let's get to it.
Say, I kind of agree. Now, if he suddenly commits, troops on the ground, then that becomes a different thing altogether. But even when Trump talked about regime change, I think he meant from within as we saw in Syria in December, where the people themselves rise up. And if that
Oh God. She acting stupid. He like this idiot, the same one that said I got a bigger show than you. Like this man feeling himself too much. Now obviously, regime change means that let's destabilize your country enough so we could extract the resources from it, you idiot. Not from within. So basically, oh, let's take out the tyrant dictator out of their country. It's all about. Remember when these motherfuckers used to say, "Why we go into these countries is because for the women and children." The same one that say that now currently still contributing to hurting women and children in Gaza. So you knew that. I knew that was a motherfucking lie. But let me continue.
was to happen, why would that be a bad thing?
Okay, so you're asking a lot of questions here. So first and foremost, the idea that you have to formally declare war on like a piece of paper in order for war to happen is a little bit ridiculous. I mean, he dropped bombs. He dropped bombs in Iran. So yes, we are a part of this war, whether we like it or not. Iran is now speaking and saying that they're going to shut down the Hormuz Strait. There's going to be impact on oil.
Why would they do that? Why would they do that when the main victim of doing that would be Iran? I mean, 50% of China, of the traffic of stuff through there is for China, which is one of their allies.
Don't care, not my business. The point that I'm making here is that to make the assumption that you can just drop bombs on a country and then say, well, you know what, we didn't formally declare war is patently ridiculous. I think that is just patently ridiculous.
What about when he killed General Soleimani, one of Iran's top military commanders?
Sure, an assassination, a strike, and that, of course, came with some risk. It's a little bit different to be flying out B-6 bombers in the middle of the night and dropping bombs at the behest of Bibi Netanyahu, which brings me to the second point. The reason that America wants a regime change in Iran is because Bibi Netanyahu is demanding it. And that answers the question as to why there.
Yeah. Oh, God, I can't really say I have to agree with Candace Owens on this. Like, yeah. Yeah, like, when you realize that Israel is, United States is Israel's bitch, which really, to be honest with you, it could go either way. A lot of people explain to me, like, hey, without Israel, without the United States, Israel wouldn't do the shit they doing, and that's true. So to me, I say they working hand in hand. United States wants resources in the Middle East, and Israel wants to be a greater Israel. So see how they work hand in hand. It's like a partnership thing going on here. So yeah.
There is this split in the MAGA movement. What we are seeing right now is the infiltration of Israel first people, the neocons, people who have always wanted never-ending wars, and the people who have recognized that following Israel's foreign policy initiatives has led to America being on the decline. And so that's where I stand. I am with the MAGA people who grew up, I call us Generation 9/11, who were told that America was going to be rendered safer, cleaner. All we had to do was agree to go to, well, ironically, war with Iraq because of weapons of mass destruction. It's
the craziest thing about this is that I was the same way. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. And I don't even like Candace Owens, but on a clock strike, a broken clock strikes right twice a day. I have to say that. But anyway, yeah, I believe the same thing too. Like, y'all don't understand. When the Iraq War happened, like, I fell for it myself. I said, damn, man, like, seeing what happened at 9/11 and 3,000 people got killed, and then and the craziest thing was, Al-Qaeda was not even in Iraq. See, this happens when you do your own research. This is why I say do your own research. The propaganda machine, man, got my ass, boy. Like, United States would be safer, man. We fight terrorism. We fighting a dictator in Saddam, and he got these dangerous weapons. Man, and I remember those hearings, too. Remember they used to be on C-SPAN, because my grandma had C-SPAN on TV, so, yeah.
all of the same rhetoric dating back to 9/11, all of the same tactics of trying to smear people who are against this war as supporting jihadists. It is not my business to affect a regime change in Iran. It's simply not our business. It doesn't impact us one way or the other. And we also are completely done with the idea that these decades-long idea that we're doing it to spread democracy because we believe in international liberalism. There was no imminent threat to the United States when Trump made this decision to do what Bibi wanted. And I want to be clear here. This was not Trump's decision. It was Bibi Netanyahu's decision. And that is the reason that
I disagree with this. I think Trump wanted eventually to attack Iran too. Like, yeah. I have to hold back a little bit. Like, I see how she doing. Say, oh, it technically wasn't Trump idea. I guess she's saying like Bibi Netanyahu, influenced Trump to do this. Like, oh, hold on there. Hold on there. No. Don't fall for that shit, man. My thing is this. It was a hand-to-hand partnership. Like,
that he did it. And we're very aware that Israel is dictating our foreign policy, and we would now like that to stop.
Okay, but you wouldn't disagree, presumably, that Iran has been the main sponsor of terrorism in the Middle East through the Houthis, through Hezbollah, through Hamas. I mean, that's widely accepted and recognized. They've done
widely accepted. No, that's just kind of...
Really? You don't think they have?
Has been a terrorist state. Okay, Israel right now is imparting a genocide and a Holocaust on the Gazan people. So I'm really over this idea like somehow Israel has the moral high ground and we have to get behind them.
I didn't say
because
that.
We've got to go after the bad guys.
I wasn't saying that.
We have.
Oh, hang on. Look, we can come to Gaza where I think we'll reach agreement about what Israel's government's been doing there in the last few months.
But it's relevant. If you're going to call Iranians terrorists, if they right now had an open concentration camp where they were mass killing their own people, we would all be saying this is ridiculous. So it's rich that people are concerned about Iran having nukes. But I'm concerned about Israel, who won't even admit that they have nukes having nukes, while at the same time.
Yeah, like Israel has 90 warheads or something. Yeah, nuclear warheads, but Iran can't have one. Why Iran can't have one? And again, I keep saying, she's right. It's none of our business. It's none of our business that Iran makes a nuclear weapon. Like I can see the same point angle like with North Korea. If North Korea didn't have nuclear weapons, don't you don't think the United States would be trying to fuck with North Korea? Oh yeah, they would. And the reason why they ain't even fucking with him is because of that particular thing. So yeah. Tell you, man.
They are executing a genocide and a Holocaust in Gaza that the world is watching. So who's the bigger terrorist is the question today. I would say as an American that if we're going to get behind a regime change, it should be in Israel first. So that would be my position. I think the position of a lot of people who are waking.
Wait. Have Candace watch Candace be watching my damn tweets? Because I said one time Israel need to be regime change in Israel and give Palestinians their land back. I tell you, I don't know. I don't think she know I even exist, but I don't know, man. Like, these motherfuckers be still at talking points for people, man. But I'll let it continue.
Waking up to the fact that Zionism has brought us nothing but grief in America. Can you name one positive thing that Zionists have contributed to America? That us fighting these perpetual wars on behalf of Zionism has contributed to America?
But can you also recognize that Israel, placed where it is as a tiny thumbprint in the middle of a region where you have massive countries full of a lot of people that want to wish them harm?
But Piers, Piers. Ain't nobody trying to fuck with Israel. Israel's the one that's trying to provoke shit. What are you talking about? Israel this tiny little country, innocent little country in the Middle East, surrounded by. I don't think Iraq is still kind of like suffering from what the United States has done to them. In Lebanon, like they fucking with Lebanon. They fucking with Iran. Like, oh my God, Joy. Oh God, like I just can't, man. Like, see Piers Morgan 1 minute out his mouth, he says, hey, what Israel doing to to Palestinians is bad, then the next minute, the only reason he's saying that because now it's okay to say it because the narratives have shifted. See, last year he'll be 100% on Israel. See, narratives have shifted. That would happen. Same with the Iraq War. A lot of people supported the Iraq War back when it started. I'm pretty sure if you poll people back then, yeah, a high percentage of people. Now, yeah, the Iraq War was a fucking mistake because a lot of people got killed and a lot of people got mentally scarred because of it. So, yeah, boy, yeah.
Harm, and in the case of the terror groups like Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis, actually want to get rid of Israel and all Israelis altogether. Can you accept that if you have a huge nation like Iran with 90 million people, and they are facilitating the terror groups to that purpose, that Iran has to defend itself? Now, I would not disagree with you about what has been going on in Gaza in the last few months. I've been very vocal in my criticism of that. Nor do I disagree, by the way, that it wouldn't help Israel if they did have regime change and Netanyahu wasn't prime minister anymore. So on those points, I think we have agreement. But I come back to the fact that the reason Trump has done this, I think, is that he has for a long time said Iran cannot have a nuclear bomb. I think he's absolutely right to believe that would be a pretty terrifying escalation of the power of a...
Again, though, who fucking cares if Iran has a nuclear bomb? Who cares, dude? I don't care, man. Like, the reason why countries have nuclear weapons to use as deterrents. So most likely it won't even be used. Instead of him saying like, hey, no country should have no nuclear weapons. Not even the United States, not Israel. This asshole saying that, Iran, we're gonna do some, they're gonna do some heavy damage, oh God, to the Middle East with that. Oh my God. Oh, I can't, man. I can't with these people.
A country that's been so wedded to terrorism in the region. And I think he took the action for that reason. So I don't really agree that he's only doing it because Bibi Netanyahu wants him to go along and do it. I think he's doing it because he believes it's in America's strategic interest that Iran does not have a nuclear weapon. Enough about...
So yeah, man. Let me skip to this part right here. Let me get out of this screen. So let me skip to this part, man, because oh man, like again, like I'm saying, who cares, bro? Pierce, who cares? I really don't care. It's not affecting us. It's oh God, man, like why does the people that does the U.S. and Israel propaganda love to like always blame other people instead of blaming their own self? Like, you gotta ask yourself, why is it in Israel's interest to even try to attack Iran? Benjamin Netanyahu's, even from the 1990s, like especially the most famous, he ain't famous, but the most notable dialogue he gave was in 2002 when he came to the United States to talk about why we should go to war. Saying that Iran has a nuclear, it's a nuclear threat, which like they built nuclear sites, bro. Because we got nuclear sites in the United States. They're like fucking Canada. They're like their prime minister saying, oh, the United States got hella nuclear sites too. Oh, we gotta stop them, even though we're not posing a threat to Canada. That don't make any sense. To start conflict with a country that's not even doing nothing to you. Like, I'm just putting it in layman's terms here. I ain't even trying to be educated. I'm just, jeez, it's common sense, man.
In the Middle East, the fact that we have 2,000 troops stationed in Syria right now under the guise of saying that we're fighting ISIS, while at the same time we know that Bibi Netanyahu funded the al-Qaeda adjacent front because he wanted to overthrow Syria, and they again expand their borders, immediately take on territory and sell us absolute nonsense. We're talking about funding Hamas. Bibi Netanyahu funded Hamas. There is footage of Bibi Netanyahu saying this stuff on camera. So it's just so ridiculous to me to pretend that they're in some predicament, that they may be eradicated soon, which is why they have to keep.
I wouldn't say funded Hamas. because actually Hamas, see, some things she says kind of wonky, so I have to come and stop her. Because y'all probably say I'm on her side. I'm not. Like, I can't be on the side of a person that shits on their own community. But anyway, like, yeah, like, Netanyahu provoked Hamas to do October 7th. That's true. If you're talking about it like that, Hamas is really people that were orphans that lost their parents due to different times of occupation. So yeah, funding Hamas is kind of a stretch. Let's just say that he provoked them. Like, when you invade somebody's land and just do occupation over and over and over again, like, yeah, sometimes you might want to take things in your own hands, or as they say, you want to become Luigi. You know what I mean? But yeah.
Keep funding all of these terrorist groups and then pretending that they're victims of terror, when in fact they are people that are imparting it worldwide. I just think that, like I said, Generation 9/11 has grown up, and I think that our eyes are very clear here, and we recognize that our relationship with Israel has become increasingly problematic, and it always was problematic. So I'll again ask the questions, Piers. I'm asking you because we're having a conversation. Yeah. Name something positive that our Zionist AIPAC foreign policy has brought to America.
Well, I think the positive side of, if you want an answer about that, is that America has been Israel's steadfast ally because it recognizes as a country that Israel has been under an almost unique, multifaceted threat on its border for a very long time from people that want to destroy it. And that you may not see that as a benefit, but Israel has been very supportive to the United States in many ways, right? So why shouldn't America...
I just want something concrete that has been benefit. Like, we got better in America in this way. Just name something. Gas prices, just something that the average American can relate to.
Well, you're not going to have a correlation between Zionism and gas prices in America. Of course you're not.
No, I'm just giving you an example. Just tell me one thing that
tangible benefits.
What your argument here is like, well, you get a pat on the back and you can say that you helped this country, which was formed in 1948 by pretending to be refugees, if you will, and being invited into the homes of Palestinians, the horrific story
of what happened.
Well, they weren't
pretending to be refugees. They were people fleeing a Holocaust.
Let's be clear. Let me finish my statement.
What do you mean pretending to be refugees?
Let me finish my statement. When I say pretending to be refugees and being invited into the home, you would think that these people were helpless to be refugees, if you will, and being invited into the homes of Palestinians.
You're not.
No, I'm just
obviously
giving you an example. Just tell me one thing that
tangible benefits.
What your argument here is like, well, you get a pat on the back and you can say that you helped this country, which was formed in 1948 by pretending to be refugees, if you will, and being invited into the homes of Palestinians, the horrific story
they weren't
of what happened.
Pretending to be refugees. They were people fleeing a Holocaust.
Let's be clear.
That's a lie. He lying. This guy is lying. Oh my God, I can't stand Piers Morgan, man. Like, bro, literally, bro. Candace Owens, man, I'm telling you. Like, if she went this route instead of going the route of, the conservative right, talking down on black folks, like, it's a lane for her. But, that ship sailed, like. But Piers Morgan said they escaping Holocaust, but I thought that the rapture and all of that stuff is the reason why they went to Palestine. It's Palestine. I hate calling it Israel because it's not Israel. Israel is not real. It's like putting lipstick on a pig and calling it beautiful. Like, no, it's still a pig, man. Like, come on, man. Oh my God, I just can't. Oh, the escape, they did it to escape. They did it to escape the dude. 1948, bro. World War II ended in 1945. 1948, 3 years after that. So all of the Holocaust then, like it is now. By the way, now genocide isn't strong anymore. What's going on in Gaza is a Holocaust. Like, BB Netanyahu is, Israel cats and smooches, all of those motherfuckers of intentionally trying, well, not intentionally, they are doing is, committing Holocaust at this point. But let me continue.
Clear. Let me finish my statement.
What do you mean
When I say
pretending to be refugees?
let me finish my statement. When I say pretending to be refugees and being invited into the home, you would think that these people were helpless and were going to be grateful to the people that hosted them. People like Muhammad Hadid, Bella Hadid and Gigi Hadid's father, who was an infant at this time in his mother's arms. She had just given birth. They had invited these refugees because of the goodness of their heart. And then one day they return home and their doors are locked and they are told that if you try to enter, you are going to be shot and killed. That is the reality of how Israel was established as a state. Okay, that is not a stain that you can wipe from history. Most Americans growing up actually believe what happened was that, okay, it was a little messy. That's what happens after wars. Borders get changed. But at the very least, they were given money. I mean, you've lived here for hundreds of years.
And the stuff my auntie told me how Israel formed is different from what I know now. So that's what I'm saying about doing your own research. Like, I didn't even know about the rapture and the Nakba. No, not the rapture, the Nakba and shit until later on. Like I had to learn this stuff from my comrades on independent media. Like, boy, yeah. But let me continue.
Here's money for your property. No, that's not what happened. They were forced out of their homes at gunpoint.
Listen,
and it's wrong. So we get to be the nation on the back. According to you, the thing that America gets. Let me finish. I'm going to let you finish. It's your show. We can. But let me finish. Your argument is that what we get to be is that nation that keeps supporting it as they continue to move their borders in this way. Now we're seeing that incursion into Gaza, and we are certainly going to see it by the end of this administration in the West Bank, because like I said, that is why Miriam Adelson gave Trump $100 million.
Look, as you know, I oppose what the Israeli government is doing now in Gaza. I oppose the expansion of settlements on the West Bank. I think all of that is completely wrong. I do think America supports Israel.
Yeah, the only reason why you don't support it now is because the narratives have shifted. Like, bro, a lot of people, this is the lowest approval rate on Israel. I think this is the lowest approval. I ain't saying it right, but y'all get what I'm saying. Like, the way people look at Israel is at its lowest point now. Of course, you're going to have to change your narrative. Like, but you still, because you have some Zionist people that support Israel watching your content peers, you still have to, you have to play the fiddle here. Like, we know how it works, peers. We know.
Because it remains the only democracy in the Middle East, and that's an important.
They're not a democracy. Stop saying that, Pierce. You know better.
Well, they have elections.
It's not a democracy.
They have elections.
But who gets to vote in those elections? Do the Gazans get to vote in that election?
Well,
bro, even the UN. Remember when the UN wanted? UN say, hey, maybe it should be a two-state solution. Was it back in 1967? Something like that. Damn, I need to bring a historian on about this. I know a lot, but I don't know everything. But yeah, the UN at one point said, hey, you need to be a two-state solution. The Palestinians should have a say, and then the people who stole the land, Israelis, like it should be some kind of system in place, but of course Israel don't want that. And, shame on the UN for not forcing that on Israel. But yeah, let me continue.
The Israelis get to vote in Israel, obviously.
Okay, so you're basically saying America had a democracy, we had
Israel
laws that said Black Americans couldn't, Black Americans
Israel
couldn't
moved
vote.
out. It is indisputable that Israel moved out of Gaza in 2005, and there was an election, and Hamas got elected. Right now,
yeah,
I agree.
That's because
I agree with you. I agree with
but Bibi Netanyahu was on camera saying that they were going to fund Hamas into power. So they orchestrated
Candace,
that because they wanted to create
Candace,
the solution.
I'm finished. I agree with you that Netanyahu wanted to cause a split between the Palestinian Authority and Hamas. It was divide and rule. It was a catastrophically bad strategy, and it led to what happened on October the 7th over a 20-year period. There's no doubt.
Oh, God, this guy's an idiot. That's the point, Pierce. October 7th happened is because it just like what happened. The same thing Israel does. Like they want to pretend like the victim. Like they had the media say, oh, Hamas, all these lies about Hamas. Oh, Hamas, gutting, I got to be careful on YouTube. Raping women and beheading babies and all that stuff. Like, to strim up the narrative that Hamas is this evil terrorist malicious group. Oh boy. Yeah, like Pierce don't know
It
what
was
the
a
fuck he's talking
terrible
about.
thing that Netanyahu did. One of the many reasons I think he should go. But there was no doubt that the Israelis pulled out of Gaza and allowed them to have elections, and they elected Hamas, and the rest has been disastrous.
Because
dude, what are you talking about? Gaza is not. It's not its own state, bro. Gaza is an open air prison. It's a border. It's a fence. It's a damn near fence. It's an open air prison. It's a fence around Gaza. You know that, right? Palestinians just can't leave. Like, either when they try to leave, they might get shot down by the IDF. What are you talking about, dude? He don't even know what he's talking about. Like, this guy got producers that can do research, instant research for this guy. And millions of people watch this dude on a weekly basis. And this guy this man getting schooled by Candace Owens, a person I don't like at all. I don't like her, bro. You know, like, she's a detriment to the black community, bro. But Candace Owens is right on this situation. Candace Owens almost right. There's a few things I disagree with her about, but geez Louise, man.
because the Israelis funded, because Bibi Netanyahu, they funded
I don't
Hamas
disagree
into
with you,
power.
but they still had elections.
So it's like we rigged an election, but look what the election results show is that they wanted to put Hamas into power. And so when we talk about who is funding these terrorists, the answer is Bibi Netanyahu. And I don't want to get into his corruption trials, but every single person watching this right now should go pursue the documentary, The Bibi Files, because it is absolutely stunning to understand.
I believe one of the reasons. I believe one of the reasons. Let me answer
the question, because you still haven't given me anything other than, like, you guys get a pat on the back for supporting this created nation in the Middle East. I also just like to say all of the bad things that we have gotten because of our continued relation with Israel. First and foremost, the open borders. And you can relate to this. People in the UK, they just can't seem to connect the dots.
All right.
Oh my gosh, what's happening
let me
here?
Get a word in.
But I want to say this. Okay, we don't understand where all these refugees are coming from. Oh my God, where are all these refugees coming from? Who's funding them coming over into these borders? Well, this is what you get when you keep supporting these nonstop wars, when you keep bombing where these people live. And it's not even just a conspiracy, by the way. If you're like, oh, well
actually, you're wrong about this, because the vast majority of people coming into the UK illegally are not coming from war-torn countries in the Middle East. They're actually economic migrants.
Okay.
So that's not true.
Okay,
So wait a minute. Earlier there, Pierre Morgan basically said that the Europeans came to Palestine to get away from the war-torn countries, but instead of asking the Palestinians, hey, can we come here for refuge away from the war-torn countries? Like she said, they invaded their homes, invaded their squares and all that shit. But again, you know, oh God, man. You know, thank God though, in a way, like I never really. Never mind. Let me let it play.
Let's connect that. When you say economic migrants, are we talking about, like,
people who literally want to come to the UK for a better life?
And when Gaddafi was heading up Libya and the country was on the up and up, and he was working with the United Nations, and then all of a sudden he warned that if you collapse Libya and turn it into a place where refugees are escaping, that this is going to be your problem, Europe. He warned that. So then it actually happened, and now we're just calling them economic migrants. We're going to pretend that we had nothing to do.
I'm not talking about people coming from Libya.
Okay, where are you speaking about?
Well, for example, I think it was last year, a third of all the people who came into the UK on the border on the small boats illegally, it turned out were young economic migrant males from Albania, which last time I checked, we hadn't invaded. So look, let me pull you back to something you said, which has caused a lot of controversy, which is this issue of dishonorable discharge. Let's take a listen.
I do believe that if war in Iran is on the agenda, and that appears so, get dishonorably discharged. Who cares? Who cares? Why should you go die in a foreign land? You now have the benefit of 2020. You can think about those men and those women who died because they were pitched that they were serving their country because there were weapons of mass destruction, right? They were serving their country because the Taliban, they were serving their country, whatever, and these people gave up their lives. And ask yourselves, for what? And the answer to that question is for the elites. They're like toy soldiers.
Yeah, Candace. Candace gets it. Yeah, they guard oil fields. You know that, right? Yeah, man. Like they wasn't fighting for freedom. Like they weren't. I always hear when people say in the military, "Thank you for protecting us." Ain't nothing to protect, bro. Like who's a threat to the United States? Now I'm just, you know, it's sad that at this late state of age I am in, like I wish I'd have known all of this stuff, even back to Iraq War, because that's when I was a teenage boy at the time, young teenage, 13, 14, very young, um, to now, even now, like I'm still learning. Like you learn, but like I just like I guess you grow up, you learn that. Yeah, like a lot of stuff they tell you, man, is cap. It's total cap. So, all
You
right.
said that. Were you aware of the repercussions if people dishonorably discharged?
So just to put this into context, this is like the Q&A, live Q&A portion at the end of my show. And being facetious, but also being completely honest, that they should begin to consider, and that was somebody asking, what should we do? Like, should we leave the military because they also
do you regret
are
saying
recognizing that? No, I don't regret saying that. I don't
But you
regret
know the
having people
repercussions if you
actually
do
think about.
discharge dishonorably.
Okay, well, I would imagine that the people that are in the military who were going to, if they were going to listen to my podcast and they were going to dishonorably discharge, that they would know the consequences. So it's completely ridiculous. And again, we see this over and over again where people can't answer the broader questions. They try to suddenly peg in, well, you said this one thing. No, the
It's
broader
quite a big.
conversation that we are having.
Candace, it's not a small thing.
No,
to
let me
suggest
finish.
that
Let me finish. Let me finish.
You're
Let me
basically
finish.
you're encouraging
Piers,
U.S.
let me
servicemen and
finish.
women
You ask
to
a question,
dishonorably discharge.
you play a clip, and I'm trying to answer.
They need that discharge. I mean, being in the military, bro. The only reason people are in the military, not because they love this country. I mean, especially if you're black. Why would you love a country that that they brought you over here and don't give you no reparations? I mean, like, yeah, I don't love living here. I'm here, but I'm, if we give reparations, and have an anti-lynching bill, maybe, a little bit more, I'm not gonna be patriotic. Fuck that shit. That's fake. But I'm like, okay, hey, the United States changed their ways, But people serve in the military because they pro, bro. They're poor, bro. Like, you know, they want to get on track here. They want, you know, they want to get a VA loans. They can get VA loans. You get free college education because, I mean, you can go to college, but you might come out being thousands upon thousands of dollars in debt, tens of thousands of dollars in debt, hell, even hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. So yeah, um, I 100% advocate for people withdrawing now. Like, yeah, the World War III shit died down a little bit because of this ceasefire that Trump helped impose, but I don't know, man. I just feel like it's something else up their sleeve, man. I don't know. Israel gonna make some other threat, like, hey, Iran threatening us again. Oh boy. But let me come back.
It. You can't do that. You asked a question.
Well, you're trying to
played a
downplay
clip,
it.
and I'm responding. No, I am. No, you're trying to upplay it. Is what the issue is. This is exactly.
I'm just repeating what you said.
You're not. You're playing what I said, and I'm responding to it and telling you that the broader piece of that conversation, when you have troops that are now asking that question, is they are recognizing that America is in steep decline, that our military comes back and they are treated like dirt. That a lot of these men, and we're talking about decades, white American males come back and they're told that they're racist and they're treated like crap, that they're white supremacists, that they have a different vision for this country. So why are they dying in these overseas wars for people?
I want to know who's saying that, though. Yeah, I don't know about that, but okay. But, Candace Owens, like, she be 80% there, then, she said some of that weird shit, like, oh, white dudes come back saying they're white supremacists, because I guess she's saying that they were told to kill, some foreigner, some brown foreigner, And then, that's crazy. I come to find out, speaking of trying to poison somebody, my uncle said that too in Vietnam. Like, they told to give the innocent people there, drugs to poison them, killing them, whatever. Like, Israel's doing that to the Palestinians. Now I heard, shout out to Liz, she said that Israel is putting drugs in the flour, giving it to the Palestinians. So they finding so many ways to ethnically cleanse these people. So just like our military is told to, hey, let's commit atrocities to the people in the country, like i.e. Iraq. But let me continue.
Bibi Netanyahu. Okay. And let me again try to answer that question that I asked you at the beginning, which is what has Zionism won
No, I'm
America?
not
What
going to keep
have
coming
these
back to
never
the
ending?
same thing.
No, let me finish. Why won't you let me answer that? Why won't you
can
let me
answer if you
actually
want
say
to.
what people are recognizing? You come back and there are open borders and you're told that you are racist. Okay. You come back and you're told that you are racist if you don't want open borders. Meanwhile, you're sent overseas to defend Israel's borders. It's a nonsense. And who's funding these open borders? According to Barry Weiss, and I quote,
That's why Israel is feeding the troops lobster and other fancy shit, because hey, if this conflict escalated, it might turn into World War III, and you might die for Israel. So hey, why before you die, let's feed you a 5-star meal. Yeah, I'm so glad, man, that I did not join the military, because I even back then I thought about it. I said, hey, hey, just join, not because I was patriotic. I joined because, again, like the benefits. So
Barry Weiss said this verbatim. The Jewish connection to the refugee is not a conspiracy. That's something that we are very proud of. And she was referencing the organization HIAS, and she says it explicitly, which she said what was started by them in the 1880s, which includes immigrants that have come in like Sergey Brin. They are still the organization that is operating at our border right now, okay? That is problematic, that we have open borders while we continually and routinely are told that we have to defend somebody else's borders, okay? And again, these never-ending wars in the Middle East at the behest of Israel. Bibi Netanyahu is the one that called for Americans to invade Iraq, Libya, Syria, Afghanistan, and now Iran, and we've done it. We're told Israel can defend itself.
That's why people are now saying, even me, that Israel did 9/11. And the more I think about it, I wouldn't be surprised if Israel had a part to play in that, along with the U.S. as well. Hey, let's make a big moment in the biggest city in the country. Let's sacrifice 3,000 innocent. Well, some of those were cops, but you get what I'm saying. 3,000 people, for to fight these regime change wars. Like why, and then yeah, and then now. Yeah, let's escalate a war with Iran too. Why not? Even for decades I said that Iran had nuclear weapons. They go make them any minute now, and they even Tulsi Gabbard, which turned into John Bolton over fucking night. Not to John Bolton. What's his name? The black guy, that served in Bush administration. Not John Bolton. Like she basically turned it to that person overnight, saying that that ain't true. Iran now has nuclear weapons. When she said that, Iran does not have any nuclear weapons. The Iran supreme leader hasn't even tried to build one since 2003. 22 years. Oh God, man. Oh boy.
Okay, but why do we have currently 2,000 troops that are in Syria under the guise of fighting ISIS? And like I said, we know Israel themselves fund terror-adjacent militants like they did to overthrow Assad. And we're done with the BS of, okay, well, they weren't really involved, Israel, in Afghanistan, because even when we fight those never-ending wars, Israel wins. Everybody knows that our boys were out there in Afghanistan guarding poppy fields, okay? And do you know what happened after we allegedly, quote unquote, lost in Afghanistan? What happened to all those poppy fields, those poppy flowers that our military was guarding? Well, the opioid crisis hit America via the Sackler family, who quite literally built the School of Medicine at Tel Aviv University. So we're just done, okay? And there's no way that we're going to go backwards. We're not going to allow you guys to emotionally condition us to go, oh, well, we got to protect Israel because of the Holocaust. It is over. They're imparting a Holocaust. America would like off this crazy train.
Okay, for the benefit of viewers who don't know what I was talking about, under the Uniform Code of Military Justice, Article 90, dishonourable discharge can result in forfeiture of all pay and allowances up to 5 years confinement, which is a pretty heavy penalty to.
Oh, you see what he did there? He's trying to say, hey, if you withdraw from the military, you lose all your benefits. You know, I guess you gotta serve a certain amount of years, to keep those benefits, but I mean, like, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Like, if I gotta die for Israel, I'll make it any other way, man. If I had to start a GoFundMe or some shit, or do some other kind of work, like, I'll do that. Like, I'm not fighting for Israel, bro. Okay, see how he pull that up, like he had that ready. He looking at his notes, like Piers Morgan wants you to die for Israel. He don't give a fuck, because he think I run. He's on that run propaganda shit too. So, these people.
Pay.
Yeah, I'd want my kids to go to jail before they fought for Israel. I'll say that honestly.
Okay,
I would.
Me too. Hey, if they say, hey, you have to either fight for Israel or go to jail, lock me up, bitch. Shit, fuck that shit. So yeah, man. I'm gonna play a little bit more of this, and I'm gonna get to the other video where, people, this conservative I got on this TikTok video, man, they come out of Candace hard, boy. Damn, man. I thought conservatives were more tight, but nah. But I'll play a little bit more of this first.
I have 3 sons, and I'm going to be honest with you, Pierce. I'm glad you told me that consequence. I'd take that consequence any day to them being sent back over in a coffin because they died for Israel. So.
Okay, but I think the one thing you're missing. Look, I come from a big military family, a lot of military in my family, and a lot of people fighting wars on behalf of the United States are not doing it because they think Bibi Netanyahu wants them to. They're doing it because
some of them do that, and they write into my show and I answer the question.
But many of them won't, and they might be offended by you suggesting that's the only reason they're doing it.
And they can watch your show, and they can be offended all they want, but I think it's more offensive the way that our military is treated, the veterans are treated, and the gaslighting that takes place when we're told that we have to defend everybody's borders, but
I actually think America treats its veterans better than almost any country in the world.
I mean, this has always been an open.
Ain't no way he just said that. Like, Pierce. Like, bro, our veterans come back from these conflicts, either, legless, armless, they have PTSD, schizophrenia, all types of shit that they didn't have prior to fighting in these conflicts, and they become homeless. The VAs, like, they're understaffed, I heard. Like, bro, they don't come home, taken care of, bro. Like, if they're taken care of, like the dude that I talked to in Georgia, this homeless guy, he was a homeless veteran. He reminded me a lot of my uncle. Like, I could tell, like, both of them. I think he's a little bit younger than my uncle, though. My uncle fought in Vietnam. I don't know what he did. I ain't really talked to him that long, but, like, yeah, man, like, he's homeless. And he's served this country, which he served to be in our class for resources, but you get what I'm saying, guys. Like, see, oh my God.
Conversation, and I'm just saying that if my boys were being drafted,
man, I wish Candace should have clapped back at him for that, but
to fight this war in Iran, I would be like, you know what, honey, take the other option. And that's not because it's cowardice. It's because when you sign up for the military.
Okay, but I would say that the pilots,
you are pledging that you are doing something that is going to better your country.
Candace,
and like I said, our country has been in steep decline since we have been part of this foreign policy, which is just whatever Israel wants.
Okay, but you made that point. But what I would say to you is the only people so far that have been involved from the American military were the extraordinarily courageous and skillful pilots who flew these B-2 bombers and attacked the nuclear sites and got back safely. So there's been no troops on the ground committed at all, no declaration of war by the United States.
Yeah, it's true that war now is more warfare. It's more, drones and more, ballistic missiles. But again, like, it's still on the ground conflict too, Pierce. Like, it's not fucking World War II era, type of, or Vietnam era type of fucking warfare, but it's still like it's still people boots on the ground. You know that, right? You know that, right? Oh man.
We can quibble. Listen, I don't disagree with you. You bomb somewhere, you put
So wait. If I fly a B-2 bomber, for example, I drop a bomb on a random building with people in it, and I see it explode, and I found out people died in there. That'll mess with my psyche, bro. Even if I wasn't on the ground physically, like I took somebody's life for no reason. Like I just don't get it. Same with a drone strike. Okay, I'm not physically. The drone physically drops a strike on somebody. I'm still gonna see it and feel the effects of it. Oh my god, he's not getting it. Oh god, this man got a damn, a blackface with white supremacy saying the right shit to this guy. Like Pierce is so off, man.
probably are at war with them. But there is no official declaration of war. Just as Trump, when he took out Soleimani and Baghdadi and he attacked Syria and so on, he didn't declare war on those places. And actually, it turned out that the apocalyptic warnings of those acts.
Yeah, he took out Soleimani. I think will prevent any escalation with that was COVID, which people don't talk about. But yeah, he did that in 2020 as well. Like, oh God. But let me continue.
Actions never materialized. So we shall see. I can't let you go without asking. Let me ask you just quickly about the Tucker Ted Cruz debate. What did you make of that?
Fantastic. It is finally.
All right, I'm done. All right, I'm done with that video. But yeah, Candace Owens, yeah, she stepped to him. She said most of the right things. But oh man, like a lot of people didn't like a lot of people don't like Candace's take on really her being anti-Israel, as you could say. Like, people don't like it, man. But I got a video to show y'all, man. Oh boy, here we go.
Owens has officially reached a new milestone in her career. I don't think she would have ever guessed back in 2018, when she still had 2 brain cells to rub together, that one day she would wake up and she would find herself being in support of a regime that is the backing of some of the most terroristic organizations on.
Wait, that picture you got of her, man. That somebody put her face on that, man. I don't think that's actually Candace Owens, but okay.
On the planet, including Hezbollah.
And I think this is a smear job too by this conservative. It turned out this guy's a conservative too, so this is a smear job, obviously. But yeah, like, I mean, what else is new? Like, I recently got smeared the other day for being a grifter, so everybody has get smeared before. I mean, yeah, but yeah,
Hamas and the likes. Now, not only has Candace switched up her tune when it comes to her support of basically anything that actually aligns with their so-called Christian values, but well, she was officially featured on Iranian television as an example of what it looks like to support your homeland, or at least your alleged sugar daddy over there in Iran. Now, this right here is the exact.
That's crazy. Yeah, this is a smear job, man. But goddamn, sugar daddy. Oh lordy.
News segment where Candace Qatari money, dollar signs, in my eyes was featured on Iranian television right there. You can go watch the actual segment for itself, but I really just wanted to get into the context of the message. The most predictable war, plausibly ever. I'm so sick of Israel. Who would have imagined that an emphasis on Israel?
Even if she was featured on Iranian television, don't make her pro Iranian a Persian asset. Some crazy shit he will say, like, bro, like Iran just like what she said. Like, same with Jackson Stinkle, like, a bunch of, like, on Instagram, a bunch of pro-Palestine pages on there show Jackson Stinkle's tweets. Don't mean that, oh God, but let me continue.
As those who pretend its actions are normal or even remotely justifiable. This country has a bloodlust like no other. Have an issue with this tweet? I literally do not care. Think defending Israel's demonic actions. It's interesting. You refer to demons because I would assume that's where you went. That's where you are. That's what happened to you, possibly. Just an assumption here. I literally do not care. I think that defending Israel's demonic actions is going to guarantee you a spot in heaven, question mark. I would be questioning myself, by the way, if I were Qatari dollars, Owens. Double your indulgences and sign your offspring up to die for Netanyahu. Leave the rest of us the...
I mean, she's not wrong. I mean, that tweet, she's not wrong. Like, I mean, like, Netanyahu wants U.S. troops to die for him. Like that's for Israel, greater Israel, right? She getting smeared for that. But
hell alone. Now, if this wasn't preceded by 2 to 3 years straight of nothing but absolute hatred and vitriol in this woman's heart for the Jewish people, then, this could just be taken as...
Man, these motherfuckers love saying because you anti-Israel because all the atrocities they have done, you're anti-Jewish. Again, this is for the 9,000th time. There's a whole lot of Jews out here that support the Palestinian people. They're saying what Israel's doing to the Palestinians is wrong. So you can say, are those Jews anti-Semites too? I just don't understand.
A true, I guess, call for peace. But in reality, all this is a continuation of the exact same rhetoric that has been pushed by Miss Candace over here. So, folks out there, continue to think for yourself, read for yourselves. Do not rely...
I like how this motherfucker said, read for yourself, do for yourself. But he's repeating the same bullshit propaganda that corporate media puts out there anyway. What the fuck? Oh God, I never thought in a million years that I would agree with Candace Owens, but hey, I call balls and strikes here, man. Like, it still don't ignore the fact that what she said about black folks and George Floyd, like nah, like unless she goes out here and say, yeah, I'm wrong about that. Nah, Candace Owens is not. She's not one of us, bro. I don't want nobody to think that because I'm actually agreeing with her. Like, you can say I'm taking the Cenk Uygur approach. Finally, agreeing with the right. But I'm not gonna have a beer with Candace Owens. I'm not gonna have a beer with Charlie Kirk. Okay, Charlie Kirk is a white nationalist. I'm definitely not gonna have a beer with Ben Shapiro. Oh hell no, his squeaky ass voice. Nah. I'd rather have a beer with a person that, like me, used to be part of the duopoly, but now we are socialists. We changed. Um, you know. All right, guys, that's the show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm sure as well. It's almost 2 hours, man. Damn, man, I'm getting longer and longer. But anyway, be sure on the bottom of your screen to follow the official ATP Network Twitter account. Our handle is at ATP Network 247. Like the video, it's free. It don't cost you a damn thing. And also, too, if you're on Twitter watching this, I highly recommend you go to our YouTube channel or you Rumble, if you like Rumble, and follow us on there, subscribe to us and follow us on there and watch our stuff. And also, too, it's clips, too. So you ain't got to watch these, long live streams. You watch the clips, but if you got nothing to do and want to watch me talk for almost 2 hours, that's good, too. Like, hey, I'm all ears here, man. And thank you guys again for giving us the 1.3 thousand, 1,300 followers on YouTube, man. Like, it's tough, man. It's tough. Trying to gain a following in this space with the way the algorithms is tough. 10 years ago, it'd probably be a little bit more easier, but we doing this the hard way, man. And shout out to Michael, aka the Left Independent. Like, he gonna start seeing more shows of him as well. Like, man, we doing the work. It's sometimes it's hard. Sometimes, sometimes you feel like you ain't doing good enough, but you gotta keep going, man. Like, they want you to quit. They want you to give up. They don't want me to have my own mind. They want me to be propagandized. They want me to believe in the shit they say about Israel, or the shit they say about Russia and China, or Iran even. Iran. That's really how you say it. But I know that none of those, especially Iran, China and Russia aren't our enemy. Our enemy is to be in that class. And also, the enemy is not a trans person reading or a drag queen reading books to your kids at a library. Like, your enemy is to be in that class. And also, too, man, I saw, before I get to the other plug, on Twitter today. Oh, yeah, I ain't done yet, man. I thought I was done. Oh, Lord, y'all finna get some more treats, man. Hold on. Man, I'm about to end this shit. But I got a few tweets to show y'all. Let me start with this one, man. This is from it says President Trump said administration is now full steam ahead to fully ban birthright citizenship following the SCOTUS ruling. Oh boy. So, see, the thing about birthright citizenship to me is that, see, they trying to prevent brown people from coming over here. They want to reduce the amount of brown people. I'm pretty sure if you're from Norway or Sweden or any one of these white countries, you can come over here, if you got some cash. Trump, remember Trump had that gold card, like literally, which is illegal by the way, literally buying people to come over here. If you got money to give me, hey, we can expedite your green card, give you a green card. Remember that? Oh man, like crime in broad daylight, I tell you. But hey, people like Trump get away with this shit. But if I have a dime bag of weed in my car, I might, I might get a few months in jail. So let me play this video. Absolutely ridiculous. But here we go.
This decision, and thanks to this decision, we can now promptly file to proceed with numerous policies.
Oh yeah, and also too, the Supreme Court ruled that the lower courts can't file injunctions. So that's what's going on. I forgot to mention that.
That have been wrongly enjoined on a nationwide basis. And some of the cases we're talking about would be ending birthright citizenship, which now comes to the fore. That was meant for the babies of slaves. It wasn't meant for people trying to scam the system and come into the country on a vacation. This was, in fact, it was the same date, the exact same date, the end of the Civil War. It was meant for the babies of slaves, and it's so clean and so obvious. But this lets us go there and finally win that case because hundreds of thousands of people are pouring into our country. And was meant for the babies of slaves. So thanks to this decision, we can now promptly file to proceed with these numerous policies. And
baby of slaves, man, your ass, if you had your way, shit, man, you have black folk slaves again. Oh shit. Like hell, man. The babies are slaves, and it was meant for that. Oh my god, bro. This guy don't. Let me continue.
Those that have been wrongly enjoined on a nationwide basis, including birthright citizenship, ending sanctuary city funding, suspending refugee resettlement, freezing unnecessary funding, stopping federal taxpayers from paying for transgender surgeries, and numerous other priorities of the American people. We have so many of them. I have a whole list. I'm not going to bore you, and I'm going to have Pam get up and say a few words, but there's really, she could talk as long as she wants because this is a very important decision. This is a decision that covers a tremendous amount of territory. But I want to just thank again the Supreme Court for this ruling. It's a giant. It's a giant. And they should be very proud, and our country should be very proud of the Supreme Court today.
So yeah, man, that's Donald Duck for you. Here's my take on birthright citizenship. Like, first of all, I don't care who goes to this country, man. I think you should open all the borders up. Like, that's just the way I am. I think, fuck these border shit. Like, everybody should come through. Like, and a lot of these people are so called to be Christians. Even the Bible says, welcome foreigners. But but yeah, one of the decent things the United States have is if you were born in the United States, you're automatically a citizen. And if you anything but white, we're gonna take that away from you, basically. Let's just keep it 100. Let's just keep it 100. I got another thing to pull up right quick. Let me share my screen. Shout out to the DPRK, man. The same DPRK that gave Hamas weapons. Y'all rock. But they said we do not recognize Israel. Kim Jong-un said we do not recognize Israel. It is an imperialist satellite state of the United States. Exactly. You know, like they get it. So yeah. I'm gonna start doing this. And oh yeah, man. Shout out to Bob Villain, man. With this base shit today, man. Like, see that, this. I love stuff like this, man. I wish I was at this event. I think this was in England. I think BBC didn't want to show it, but they did. But they kind of didn't have no choice. Cause BBC is pro-Israel, by the way, so it kind of do make sense. But let me play this right quick, man. Yeah, sir, I love it, man. I'm gonna start saying death to the IDF too. Um, Twitter could suspend me. I don't give a fuck. I said fuck Israel. Like this is how I got my clout off doing this. Like fuck Israel. Death to the IDF. Death to Israel. Death to all these motherfuckers, man. I'm on YouTube, but hey, it is what it is, man. Sometimes I try to control myself, but it's kind of hard. Let me see. I can't play this song 'cause I think it's copyrighted by YouTube. So, oh yeah, I got one more to show y'all, man. This is from this is about Zoran. And I like people spell this guy's name wrong. It's Zohran, not Zoran. It is what it is. I get folk name wrong too. It says Democratic Socialist Zoran Mamdani pledges to root out bigotry across New York City with an 800 increase for funding for hate crime prevention programs. Now, a lot of people saying that's kind of like giving funding to the police. And to be honest with you, if this is not an independent, type of hate crime prevention, if this just giving more money to the NYPD, but it don't make any sense to me because the NYPD are threatening to leave if he becomes mayor. So I don't know, but I'm gonna play it anyway, and here we go.
And I know that Jewish New Yorkers, like Jewish Americans, are fearful in this moment of anti-Semitism. They're fearful, especially after the horrific attacks that we saw in Washington, D.C. and in Boulder, Colorado. And they're fearful also in conversations that I have heard myself about life in this city. I spoke to a Jewish man in Williamsburg not too many weeks ago who told me about the fact that he now locks the door that he used to close, that he used to keep open for years because of a fear of who may come in. I spoke to a friend of mine after October 7th who told me about going to his synagogue for Shabbat services and hearing the door open behind him and turning around with a tremor going up his back, not knowing who was walking in and what they wished for them. And ultimately, it's through the conversations I've had with Jewish New Yorkers that I have developed a proposal for the Department of Community Safety that would include an...
Yeah, he said Jewish. You think he'll say Muslim? Like Muslims more in danger with hate crime, along with black folks, obviously. We still getting hung in trees and stuff, but again, it's like, yeah, man, I don't know. I don't blame people having skepticism about this. Like,
an 800% increase in funding for hate crime prevention programs, because ultimately we cannot simply...
Again, if this gonna be funded, if this gonna be funneled to the NYPD, then yeah, man, like, got the zoink them on that. Nah, you got the details got to come out, but I don't know.
Say that anti-Semitism has no home in this city or no place in this country. We have to do more than talk about it. We have to tackle it. And that's what we will do through this funding and through this commitment. We will root out bigotry across the 5 boroughs.
So yeah, y'all, you heard what he said. All right, y'all. Now it's the end of the show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching the Good Faith Show on the ATP Network. I'm Andre Moore signing out. Have a good one. And oh yeah, fuck Benjamin Netanyahu.